Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Twem and today we are going to talk with Sam Golzari. You probably know him from the movie 21. He actually played many roles in several movies. Hey Dr. Farid, nice to see you here as well. And Sam also is a professional musician. Yeah, there he is. Let me send the request. Yes, I sent the request. Hey Sam,
Hello.
how are you doing?
Good. Yeah, I saw Farid was here. What's up, Farid June?
Yes, Dr. Farid is also here. I'm very
Yeah.
happy. He's also here. He says, I'm a big fan of Sam and lucky to call him a friend. Oh, that's
Yes, we're good friends. Great. Yeah, the reason I even was familiar with you was, well, first of all, what I don't know I just know your Dr. Tuem. I don't know what your name is.
my name's Money.
Money. Okay,
Yes,
Money. All right, so I want
yeah,
to say it. That's
Persian
so
name, yeah.
yeah, my cousin is I have a Money in my family too. But the reason I became familiar with you was because I saw your interview with Farid a few weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And we are going to have another one on September 13th.
Yeah,
It's
he
going
told
to be
me. I
about mood
just
disorders. Yeah, we are thrilled to have that one. And Sam, so you're in LA now, right?
Yes, in LA, and today we're about to have the hottest day I can remember. It says it's going to be 107. I've never seen 107 in West Hollywood. So
How are
today's,
you dealing with that physically?
well, our air conditioning broke 2 weeks
Oh,
ago. So luckily I had it fixed. If I didn't have it fixed, I'd be sweating a lot more right now than I.
so Sam, you are a professional musician and professional actor at the
Yes, sir.
same time. So do, do these things compatible? I mean, do they interfere to your one skill or no? It's okay. You can control them at the same time.
Well, the beautiful thing about each thing is when it comes to the acting, so much of my work as an actor is based on working with other people. I have to audition for roles. I have to get a job. So I have to work with my theater company. They have to recreate a play. So I need a lot of people to get that opportunity. The beautiful thing about the music is it's something that I have full control over. So it balances me out. I go out for auditions and I do the work that I get, but then also the music is something that I control and like I have ownership over. I don't need anyone else to make it. I make music with my band, I make music with my wife, but I also can make music on my own. So it gives my life balance.
Yeah, and you are in a music band named Elevators, right?
Yes, I'm in the band. We all met at UCLA. We all studied theater there at UCLA, except for our drummer who we met later. And so, yeah, we've made music together for over 10 years. We've toured, we've traveled, we've made albums. So the Elevators was a very big part of my process as a songwriter and as a performer, because I'll tell you, when I perform with my band, when I'm on stage with my band, I I feel so strong. I feel so confident in that moment. So that energy that I get from the band, I also take to my work on the stage or in film, that confidence. Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting that most of the band members, as you mentioned, they have acting background. So how does it affect your performance on stage?
Oh, so that from the beginning, that was a huge plus for us, because anytime we would do a live performance, since most of us had theater background, we were thinking about the performance of the music, the formations and the dancing and the story we would tell. So we would do a few songs and then we would think what songs go together and create a kind of a full experience. So that's always the band. Yeah, that was just an extension of working in the theater. Like we would even have little sketches or bits we would do between songs, and so yeah, so it's really been that aspect of us all being actors in the band gave us a lot of opportunities, and we got a lot of people coming to our shows because they enjoyed the music, but they also enjoyed the experience of seeing us play live.
Yeah, that's a big advantage. And the genre is hip hop, right?
soul, hip hop, dance music, and then the music that I'm making now but on my own is more like it's not as dancey. The music I'm making now is more like I call it lo-fi soul. Like it's it has a little bit of Sinatra, a little bit of like the kind of standards kind of music where you don't have verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It has like an old traditional style, but with soulful singing. And that's the thing I like about the new music I'm making is with the band, it's a lot of like outward energy. And with the new music that I'm making, and I'll share it with you when it's ready, it's much more like intimate. Like I'm singing in a more intimate place in my voice.
Oh, that's great. And it's full of energy. I like that. And it's
Yes.
very unique, I think. It's true that we have similar music in in this genre, but
Yeah.
still I feel the uniqueness of what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and that also comes from we have such different people with different experiences. Like you have me that's Persian. David was born from born in America but is Israeli. We have Benny who was born in the Malibu Palisades. We had Miles whose family is from Atlanta. And so we have different energies of people that came together and we all like different music. So when you come together, it creates an interesting kind of mix.
And nobody left the group so far since the formation of this group.
The core members, we still work together. The thing is, we've all are doing other things as well. So we don't perform like we perform maybe 2 or 3 times a year together, but we are working on new music together. We're working on ideas. One of my bandmates, Benny, just had a baby 2 days ago, so his life has changed a lot. So,
Yeah. So
but
let's
also,
hope that. Yeah.
but the thing is, we're also like working in small pockets. Like I'm working on music, I bring two of the guys in to work with me, so we're all doing our own things at the same time.
Yeah, having a child is another full-time job itself. So
Do you have
let's
a
hope
kid?
it will remain active. No, I'm just no based on your guys' experiences. I
Yeah,
don't
I
have
don't
any.
have any. Me neither. I don't have any kids yet. No.
Yeah, and Sam, you also played a role in 21 movie. It was such a big movie.
Yes, yeah, that was I was actually telling a story from that film that I remembered. It was a really great experience because I'd done one previous film before that called American Dreams. That was my first like big opportunity. And then 21 was just a beautiful experience working with that great cast, but also we shot in Boston, we shot in Las Vegas. So it was a really cool life experience to be able to travel. And also when you work on a big budget film like that, to see the machinery of it, to see how it happens and how it works, it was really a learning experience. And it's something that I took with me to other jobs I did after that. Yeah.
And how was your experience playing with Jim?
Jim Sturgis is just such a great, he's a musician as well, actually. He's a really great musician. So just a great energy. The thing is, for most of us on that film, it was one of our first experiences. Everyone, we had some older guys. We had Lawrence Fishburne and Kevin Spacey, these guys who had worked a lot. But the younger group, it was a lot of people kind of learning the process. So Jim was just a really great guy. We stayed in touch and shared music together. He shared music and collaborated on music together. So yeah, he just as nice in real life as you would imagine.
Yeah, I see. And what do you think about your role in this movie? You played a nerd, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, well, I was telling interesting story with that film was I went to the audition, and I actually after the audition I called my mom, and I'm like, I just had the worst audition of my life. I embarrassed. I felt like I had this horrible. It felt like I ruined it. And then, of course, 2 days later, I get a call that I got the job, which is always every time you feel like you did a great job, you never get the job. It's when you're not sure. But
Yeah.
then when I got the film, the director called me and said, I loved the first film you did, and I want you to do the same like accent, like the Middle Eastern accent. And I was listening to him, but like in my heart, I was like, oh God, because in the script there was no accent, and like I
Yeah.
didn't want to get typecast, and also for the character, it didn't feel like it was the right thing for the character. So I had to fly to Vegas for the first table reading and to meet the cast. And I'm in the airplane and I'm like writing the 10 reasons I think that this guy shouldn't have an accent. And I was like prepared to confront the director and be like, here, this is what I think. But I didn't get a chance to talk to him. We get to the first reading. So the whole cast is there, all the actors, the head of Sony Pictures, everyone's sitting there. And we start reading and it gets to my part. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I just started doing the role with my own voice, not with a Persian, like this, accent. I just did it.
Yeah.
I did it the way I wanted to do it. So I did the audition and then, I did the reading and then I get a call the next morning. The director wants to have a meeting with you. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to get fired. I go to have the meeting. I'm waiting outside his office. 20 minutes goes by, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I'm waiting there an hour. I'm like, yes, this is not a good sign. Finally, the director lets me in the room and he's talking and then he's like looking at some papers and he's like, oh, by the way, love what you did. Keep that. And he kept going with the meeting. And he had no idea how much my heart was bumping at that time because I was ready for this confrontation. But that moment was a great lesson for me about trusting your instinct and, doing what you feel is right. Even if it's your first film or your 100th film, or it's your first day in the office or your 100th day in the office, you gotta, at the end of the day, hold on to the things that you believe in and the things that are valued to you,
Yeah, that role, I think it really fits you. But the thing is that how nerd you are in your personal life.
Oh, yeah. I'm nerd. I'm a nerd for sure. I
So
love video.
that's why it felt so real when I watched you. I said, yeah, Sam could be a nerd.
Yeah, I love video games and comic books and anime but more than that, the thing with what nerd really, I've always thought about this idea of nerd. What nerd really means is someone who's really cares or passionate about something. Because the opposite of that is the James Dean character who doesn't care about school, doesn't care about the idea of nerd is someone who's passionate either about stamps or nature or whatever it is. It's being a nerd is actually the best thing to be because that means you care about something. It's the people who don't care about anything that's considered cool, but that's not really what that's not the kind of people you want to be around and the person you want to be,
Yeah, and usually in the movies, the stereotype is that they show that nerds, they cannot get girls. And
Yeah.
that's why,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
negative things about them they show. But this is not true. Do you agree?
Of course. Yeah. I have friends who are the most handsome guys I know, and they never date anyone because they just have a bad personality, so it doesn't really matter.
This is totally a stereotype. And Sam, what do you think about your collaboration with other Persian colleagues in movie industry? For example, Jimmy Westwood, Shirin in Love. You had so many of them.
Oh yeah, Maz Jobrani has really been just a great friend, giving me so many opportunities on things he worked on. And then my friend, Tara Grammy, I've always appreciated when people bring me in, and the thing I've started to do is I'm starting to write myself. I'm writing more projects. So I'm excited to create pieces to bring other people into. But yeah, there is such a positive support group. There's so many great people I could think of right now. Pej, Omid, all these great actors who just support each other and are there for each other. So yeah, I think it's really important. And that's something that I've been thinking about too, because I work with the Latino theater company, my mentor, that's his theater. And I see the community they create here in LA, the Latino community. And it's really important for the Iranian community to support each other and create spaces where people come together and share music and theater. So of course, right now it feels like impossible, but hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, my cousin Sean is in the house. I just saw. Sean just had a new baby. Love you, buddy. Congratulations. He's gonna call me later and say, "Oh, Hollywood doing," and he always calls me Mr. Hollywood because anything I do. So now that I'm doing an interview, he's gonna shout me out for some kind of Hollywood
Is it
thing.
the same Sean in your music band or no?
No, this is a different guy. This is
So
my
what's
cousin.
going on? So many people around you are having baby. There's a competition or what's
Oh,
going
yeah, everyone's having babies, that's for sure. I mean,
on?
well, everyone had
So
babies before COVID. So some people can say, we're home alone all day. It just happened to happen, but no, Sean's had two beautiful kids now. So
yeah. So is it any pressure on you guys that your friends around you tell that why don't you have a baby too?
no, no, we don't have that pressure. Luckily, just
It's a very famous in Persian culture, as you know. There's a constant pressure about it.
yeah, my family in general, my parents in general have always haven't really been the typical Persian parents. I mean, I just went into acting and the arts and they supported me. There was never a point when that already makes them not the typical Persian parents,
Yeah.
and there's times where I doubted myself or felt like not sure, and they would be like, "No, Sam, you're doing the right thing." So, yeah, when it comes to my sister just had a baby, so that also helps them get their grandparent energy started. So the pressure's not on me right now.
Yeah, and her baby looks like you a little, and I
Yeah,
thought for the first time that's yours.
yeah. As when he was first born too, yeah, I felt like it's crazy. There was times where I felt like he was my kid because I would look at him like, man, yeah, I felt the connection between us for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Tara, and you
Yes,
played a role in the clip named "The Persian Bachelorette." It was very funny.
yes,
So,
yeah.
what
That
was
was
the
a lot.
motivation about it?
Well, her and our other friend Cheyenne, they started creating that character, and I just, Tara and I became friends on Jimmy Westwood. She had a small role in that, and so we became friends. And then uh, also, she's good friends with my other friend Nusha Noor, who's a great actress. So we've always been friends. And then, so when they were writing so when the first one she was writing, when Tara and her writing partner were writing Simple Wedding, she contacted me and said, "There's a role I want you to do." So we had worked together on Simple Wedding, and then she contacted me again and said, "I'm doing this new sketch and I'd love for you to be in it." So it was all her invitation. So I appreciate that from her for inviting me to play with them and create. That was a lot of fun. And it's such a funny sketch.
Yeah, it was so funny. And you mentioned about this a simple wedding. How
Yes.
was the experience working with Cher Horowitz?
And actually, my first film I ever did, American Dreams, was with Shohreh. She played
Yeah,
my
yeah,
aunt in
right.
that film.
Yeah.
So, and with Shohreh, actually, when I was a kid, we would go to her and Hushang's plays here in LA. They would do plays all the time. So I grew up watching Shohreh and Hushang's plays and always loved them. So that when I got to work with her, it was a really crazy experience. And then Hushang, um, Hushang Tozi did a play. He wrote a play maybe like 10 years ago for it was during Eid and it was like a celebration. So Hushang wrote a play. I worked with Hushang on his play, and then Hushang was also in Simple Wedding. So it's such a cool, you know, turn of it, because also while we were shooting American Dreams, I was telling Shohreh, I used to go to your plays, and she was telling me about how when she was younger, she went and saw Ben Kingsley do a play, and then they worked together in the is it House of Sand and Fog? What was the name of the
Yeah,
film
yeah.
they did? So it was like she had gone to Ben's plays and then worked with him, and then I'd gone to Shohreh's plays and worked with her. It was a really cool just continuity that was happening there.
Yeah, that sounds great. And Sam, you were graduated from UCLA,
Mm-hmm.
Film and Theater, right?
Yes. So did Farid. Farid, well, not Farid was in theater, but he was UCLA too, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And also Max Amini was there, right?
Max was in my class. Yeah, Max was in my class. Max is, yeah. I've known Max for 15, almost 20 years now. Is it
Yeah.
20
So,
years now? Yeah,
um,
almost.
how was your experience as classmates with Max Amini?
The thing with Max was Max has been passionate about comedy since then. And the beautiful thing with Max was to see his evolution, because when we started going to school, he was starting his comedic, you know, doing open mics. And the thing about comedy that people don't understand is when you see someone go on stage and have a great show, there's like years and years and years and years of trying things out and doing shows and for 4 people and people not like where no one's laughing. And so the consistency and the dedication is what gets you to the point where you can go up there and seem very relaxed and effortless, you know? So it was great to watch Max's journey. We would go to perform. There was a bar there by UCLA. We would go and there'd be 3 people in there with Max, and the other 3 people were comedians who were waiting to go up to do their jokes, right? Yeah. So to see that evolution is really, really powerful. And it's kind of just talks to his motive, his commitment to his craft, you know? So I took that as a lesson for the work that I do.
Yeah, persistence is really the key, especially, you know, the best because as actors, you go to many auditions. So this is totally normal to be turned down and you should keep going.
Yeah.
And definitely Max did it perfectly. And unfortunately, many people, as soon as they go have a performance as a stand-up comedian and they understand they are not funny, they just drop it. So the key, as you said, is the persistence, and unfortunately, Max did it perfectly.
But you have to be funny too, because even like from the beginning, Max was a great story. Like anytime you would tell us stories when we're hanging out, they're the best stories. And really one of the biggest lessons in any art, either acting or music, is the hardest thing to do is to get to the point where when you get up on stage, you're just being yourself. Because what happens is like you could be really funny with your friends and you can tell great stories, but as soon as you get on the stage, this pressure happens where all of a sudden you are acting unnatural, you know? Like with music, like I noticed for myself, if I'm singing at home alone or if I'm singing at a concert, but when you would get into a studio and you have the microphone there and you need to sing into the microphone, all of a sudden your voice is different or you're pushing in a different way. So a lot of life in general is to be able to be as much relaxed and yourself in the situation as possible. And that's really what we work on as an actor. You know, a lot of times you see an actor and then like the line will be, "Oh, you just got home," right? And I would say, "Oh, you just got home." But if I get on the stage, I go, "Oh, you just got home." Like everything becomes exaggerated because I think I have to entertain you, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to practice to the point where you can just go, "Oh, you just got home," and like be that natural and feel comfortable with it. So that's really a big part of it.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a long answer, but that's it.
And about Max Amini, I exactly like the way he's improvising. He's very talented about improvising. And as you said, it's because of his being himself. And that's the key also, you're right.
Yeah.
And Sam, what would be the ideal role that you are imagining for yourself in movie industry?
Well, actually, I'm writing that role for myself right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm actually I started a master's program in screenwriting 2 weeks ago. So I've always wanted to write more. And so I'm excited I'm working on that more and so I'm writing a film right now about a doctor and this older homeless man and their friendship. So hopefully if all goes well in a few years, you'll be seeing the film and then you'll see that role I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
But but when I imagine my dream role, like I want to create something where it connects the music and the acting together. So that's something I'm thinking in the future too, is I want to create characters where I get to share my music and my voice as well. That's something also, that will be the next project after this one.
Yeah, as you notice, Adam Sandler is doing it as well. He brings his music. Yeah, so it's interesting. And have you done writing before taking this course?
Yeah, so with my theater company, I've written in collaboration with my other theater members. I've written at least 4 or 5 plays. I've written short films. I actually made a short film right before COVID happened. In January, February, I shot a film. So I'm in the editing process right now. So that's something that I created myself. And then, so the theater, that couple short films, and then music. Writing music is also, part of it's different, but part of the same process. But for a feature film, this is my first feature film I'm writing.
That's great. I'm a writer myself, but this is not my main job. I'm a university professor, but in movie industry, I'm writing since many years ago, but I never get this chance to publish it somewhere, or, for example, convince a producer to create a movie based on that. So what would you suggest to guys like me who are far from Hollywood to make their movie happen based on their writing?
Well, the first thing I would say is Hollywood is being close or far from Hollywood doesn't matter anymore, because right now, if you find a cinematographer, where do you live?
In Cyprus.
Cyprus. If you find a cinematographer and you find the actors, and I don't know if you want to direct yourself, I'm sure there's people in your community that are artists. First of all, have you made any short films? Have you produced or made any of your own short films?
No. Actually, I was just writing the movie script.
Yeah, because right now, if you're writing and you want to have the opportunity to create the things you write, you can do it yourself. Like, I have a friend who just did a feature film. They shot on the week because everyone's working and he couldn't pay anybody. For like 2 months, they would shoot Saturdays and Sundays. On the weekend, they would find the locations, and then they shot the film. And after 2 months of shooting on the weekends, he has the film, and now he just has to edit it. And so, what I would say to you is, you just got to make them. You don't need. But the thing is, you write them with the mindset that I'm going to write something that I can create. You don't write Avengers 8, no, because you can't do that movie. But if you wrote, like the movie House of Sand and Fog, let's say, that movie with Cher Horowitz, it's some houses, it's a beach, you write it like the script I'm writing right now. I'm writing it because I want to make this film. Like, I'm not writing this film just because I want to write. I'm writing it because I'm going to make it. So I'm conscious of, okay, well, there's a hospital. I'd have to have a budget to have a set that's a hospital. But other than that, it's going to be inside people's homes and on the street. I don't have any special effects. So that's my advice to you, is just make them, because then you can show people, this is my writing. This is what these are the films I want to make. And then you'll have more and more opportunities. Like, I have two great friends, my friend Malik Vital and Annie Little Amirpour. I don't know if you know she did,
No.
Annie Little is a Persian filmmaker. She made A Girl Walks Home at Night. She wrote the film, she made it. After she made it, and it was such a great film, she got people to produce it. Elijah Wood's production company came and said, we want to help finish the film. But she didn't wait for the opportunity. She made the film. So that's my advice to you, is and especially if you're in Cyprus and you make a film, that's great. That has a value, because there's a million people making movies here in LA right now. But if you have a film, it's a unique perspective, and if you can get it, put it on Vimeo or YouTube and get people to see it here, it could create a buzz. That's my advice.
That was great advice, Sam. Thank you very much. And the thing I never noticed was that when you write something, think about the budget first, because the thing I'm writing, they need a special effects, they need big budget. But as you said,
it's good to have that. It's good to create the things you want to create and have them ready. But it's also good to have things that you can do right now with the resources you have. You might actually meet someone who's amazing at visual effects, and you could have visual effects in yours. You go on YouTube and here on Instagram, and there's people who do crazy effects on their Instagram posts,
Yeah, that's right. And working with local, as you said, this is also another key, which is important. Yeah. And Sam, let's do something fun. We have a challenge in our page named Crazy Eyebrow. We try to pull one eyebrow up, one down, like this. Can you do
I
that?
can't. I can never do. See, I've always wanted to. I'm a big fan of The Rock, No, I can't.
Yeah, yeah,
I
The
could.
Rock also.
Hold on. Here. Oh, see, even with my hands, I can't even
No,
fake it.
it doesn't count.
I always felt that that made me less of an actor. It's like a good actor would be able to use their eyebrows, but I could kind of do. Let me see. I could kind of do the Jack Nicholson sometimes.
Yeah.
Nah, my eyebrows. You know what I can do though, which you can't do right now, is I can do this. You can't do this right now. I can get
No,
the.
it needs 2 months something.
Here we go. I can get the. You see, let's see you try that. I bet you can't do that right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go. Kind of.
that's
Yeah.
great.
This facial hair, I've never had a beard this long. It's because of being home all the time in COVID. I'm like, let me grow it out, and I'm kind of like, you know what? Maybe I'll take some headshots and try a couple auditions like this.
That was also a surprise for me because I didn't expect that. I usually
Yeah.
saw you totally shaved. Now
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
this, yeah.
Yeah. And
But
my
it
wife
fits
likes it
you.
too. So my wife likes it. So I'm like, I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, it fits you. It's good. And Sam, have you ever been in Iran before?
So I was born in London. And then when I was less than a year old, we went back to Iran. And then when I was about three was when the revolution started, and we left. We escaped Iran when I was 3. So I haven't been back since early childhood. I haven't been.
Oh, unfortunately. What do you like or dislike about Persian culture?
What I love about Persian culture, I love the connection to family. I love the generosity and the the kindness. It's actually, my wife is half Mexican and half Palestinian, and we've been going to Mexico a lot before COVID, and I saw such a similarity between the Latino and the Persian culture of the kindness of to strangers, and really like family sticks together and cares for each other. I think that's such a gift to have, where you'd never feel alone. Luckily, I mean, of course, every family is different. As for like the negatives, I just feel like the expectations we put on each other. Um, I don't really have negatives. I mean, we all have negatives, but I think one thing, and I don't know if Fadi's even here anymore, but the one thing Fadi and his dad helped a lot with is people to talk about their issues. You know, we have such an ego-driven, like, we are the best, Golzaris are the best family in the world kind of thing, you know? And anything that's a problem, we keep bottled in, or we don't let people know. But I think that's one thing I think it's gotten better is, as Iranians, being vulnerable and allowing people in our lives to know what's going on with us. I think it's something that I'm proud of, to see the change, especially here in like Persian Americans. There's
Yeah,
Fadi,
Dr.
yeah.
Farid is also here. He can also confirm that about the note that you mentioned. About the Persian, for example, they are very kind to others, as you mentioned. But at the same time, when they are kind to you, it brings them expectation. And that
Yes.
expectation can hurt, as you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever been in Cyprus, by the way?
No, I've never been to Cyprus. That I would love to go. I've traveling has always been one of my passions. So, but I've never even thought about it. Now that they bring it up, yes, I would love to. I would love to. I would love to go. Where do you recommend? Where's the places to go?
There are many cities, interesting cities here to go. Larnaca,
Mm.
Ayanapa. In northern region, we have Girne. All of them are beautiful. I
How
hope
long have you been
someday.
there for?
It's been about 11 years, but
11 years.
yes, through these 11 years, also I moved to Russia. I was there for a year. Then again, I come back because of low salary to teachers there. I had to
Hmm.
leave there. Otherwise, Russia was great. It was a
Yeah,
great experience.
my uncle lives in Russia. And he has a Russian wife, so I have 3 half Russian, half Persian cousins. And yeah, I love those guys. It's such a cool combination to call those 2 cultures.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because
What do
people
you
think,
teach? So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
yeah, it's okay. I teach mathematics and computer programs.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm a nerd too. And Sam, it was so great talking with you. I enjoyed talking with you that much
Yeah,
that I
man.
can go for hours. But I really appreciate the time you've given to this.
I
And
appreciate you for the invitation. It's really
thank
great to get to talk and get to know you a little bit too, man. It's really nice.
Yeah, it was all, the pleasure was all mine. And I wish you luck in your projects, either they are in movie industry or for your music band.
Thank you so much. And I'll be tuning in when you're talking to Fatty. So on the 13th, you said?
Yes, yes. I'm
I'll be,
also looking forward to it.
yeah, I'll be in the chat saying hi.
Yeah, it will be lovely to have you there as well. And Sam, let's be in touch and let's hope we will meet you also in person here, especially if we will have movie festival in Cyprus, because I'm looking forward to make it happen as well.
And I'm excited to see when you send me a copy of your first film, short or feature, so I can watch it.
Thank you. I will do my best. And I'm also looking forward to see about your writing and the role that you want to play, which you mentioned, which is your idea.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sam. Dr. Ferry, thank you also for joining us. Thank you all for joining us for this chat. See you all. See you, Sam. Bye-bye.
Bye.